Welcome to the Urantia book. We have an amazing passage here today. This is called Cooperation with the Adjuster. This is on page 1205. And the adjuster, as you remember, is the fragment of God that literally dwells within you. We all have a unique and individual one, and it is our guide. It is the potential to eternalize our soul if we so choose to cooperate with it and follow its leading, step by step, moment by moment. And in doing this divine will, we have a better, more profound life. We can feel it right here and right now. We got Election Day in the United States today. Just keep in mind that the people on the opposite team, because that's what it is a political gridlock for the most part. Remember, politics should have no place in government. Government should be about taking the facts and then using those facts to do the greatest good for the most. We should obviously have elections, but it shouldn't be this gridlock bickering type of stuff. Remember, the person on the other side is not your enemy. Donald Trump is not your enemy. Kamala Harris is not your enemy. We don't even have enemies as sons and daughters of God. Two statements. It's a so-called enemy if somebody wants to say this billionaire greed type mentality. It is more the mentality that we look at and say, no, greed. We can categorically disagree with that. But we can understand why someone might be greedy or might do self-aggrandizement in something that we don't agree with, or a person who feels that we don't agree with how they align politically. We can understand that that could just simply be difference of viewpoint and opinion, or we can understand how many millions of pressures, external influences are going to this person in order to make them feel this way. These are things that are stemming back for thousands and thousands of years. We've been born into a world with all of its evil machinations fully in place for thousands of years, everybody. So we can do what Jesus of Nazareth said and hate the sin, but love the sinner. Even if it's your Donald Trump or your Kamala Harris, whoever you think is your so-called enemy, your greedy billionaire. They're not truly our enemy at all, okay? The divine is more interested in what people can do rather than what they can't do. That doesn't mean that one person might not be fit to be president, but we don't need to feel those feelings of animosity if the other team wins or something like that. And also, it's not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. Sure, we do our civic duty and we vote, but remember what Jesus of Nazareth said. What should it matter to you if the whole world should collapse around you? For you have eternal life. So no matter what oppression you think might come from whatever this election whatever the results will yield, you have eternal life. So we can sigh a sigh of relief. We're literally above this type of stuff, folks. That doesn't mean that we don't have our feet on the ground. We're not participating and doing what we can and this and that. But we don't have to have those negative feelings like so many other purely secular humans, or religionists who are, it's just a theology for them. And remember, if that's the case, I don't speak any religionists in the world. If they want to be a Catholic, then that's fine. My grandmother was a Catholic, amazing, great person. And I would say she never fully put the whole entire picture together during her life because she didn't fuse with the adjuster, which we're looking at today. But she's going to carry on, and she is going to be an amazing being in the universe. And that's what we're focusing on here. The pace belongs to you, okay? It's really, really difficult to sort through all the things. In fact, if she had this book, there was a lot of things that she didn't align with the Catholic Church either. But I wouldn't want to say, if somebody likes to go and sit there like my grandmother did and look at the church and look at the priest with the garb and the, what's the word, the pretty altar and stuff like that and do the rosary. My grandmother did that her life. Amazing woman, okay? So this isn't about looking at somebody that does something different than you, political, religious, or even non-religious, and saying, that is the enemy. It's not that. Remember, you love the sinner. It's about loving your neighbor. But that doesn't mean that you can't say, and this is where the New Age and the Buddhists get a little off about it, that we can't categorically say things like greed are evil. They don't want to have to, they say, oh, who am I to judge? You know, people always say that, oh, hey, if that works for them. Well, geez, you're judging some things, right? I mean, would you judge that going into a school and doing a shooting is not a good thing? Then what? Well, you have to just, it's okay. Remember that one line, hate the sin, love the sinner. All right, long spiel today. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so had to get that out. But here we go. Cooperating with the adjuster. Remember, we're trying to take this stuff further than any of those beings that just have a religious type of thing. Like I said, my grandmother got to a certain level, and then we stand on the shoulders of our forebearers, and then we take it to the next level. So we will be fusing, we are taking this literally to these advanced levels of consciousness because we have the book. You know, my grandmother didn't find the book or whatever, you know. Adjusters are playing the sacred and superb game of the ages. They are engaged in one of the supreme adventures of time and space. In space. Important. Okay? They're spiritual entities, but they're here tarrying around in this kindergarten called time and space. And how happy they are when your cooperation permits them to lend assistance in your short struggles of time, no matter how powerful they may seem. Unless you enlarge that concept in your scope of time, they're going to seem long, but when you enlarge it, you're going to see, oh, that is a short struggle, as they continue to prosecute their larger tasks of eternity. But usually, when your adjuster attempts to communicate with you, the message is lost in the material currents of the energy streams of the human mind. These are things that the scientists understand. Like, geez, I could be on alcohol, a physical substance, right? And now all of a sudden it's affecting my thinking, which is mental. So that's the intimate coordination between the physical and the mental. Okay, material currents will block that. Will block those types of communications that your adjuster, your perfect guide, is trying to have. Only occasionally do you catch an echo, a faint and distant echo of the divine voice. This has happened to me twice in my life, that I caught the voice and I heard the voice, but it was at my most disciplined in my entire life. Meditating, stilling the mind, perfect diet, you know, raw vegan, fruitarian diet, super clean, no drugs, you know, no influence like that. And I literally heard the voice just only twice, and with it came profound spiritual epiphany. This would be called a revelation. This is an auto-revelation that you have to yourself. So if you do all of that, have that you know, really, really dedicated to following and hearing this divine voice, then you will have the auto-revelation. If not, folks, we have an apocalyptic revelation here. This is 2,000 pages of the divine voice. I mean, it's much more profound when you do feel it, experience it personally, but until then this is, we can go on this faith right here. And this book is a faith walk, however profound it is. The success of your adjuster in the enterprise of piloting you through the mortal life and bringing about your survival depends not so much on the theories of your beliefs, everybody, as upon your decisions, okay? Those you make 100 per day. Dietary, I don't know, maybe not 100, but how many times do you make a choice on what you're going to put in your mouth, what you're going to put in your mind? See, we have to get this down to perfection here if we really want to advance to our highest potential. And if not, remember, breathe a sigh of relief. We're dealing with eternity and the pace belongs to us. You're not so much a theories of belief, but upon your decisions, determinations, and steadfast faith, okay? That will carry you through. These will carry you through. Theories, you have to be a freaking philosophical genius in order to come up with some sort of theory about things. A wordsmith, you know? You don't have to have that. All these movements of personality growth become powerful influences aiding in your advancement because they help you to cooperate with the adjuster. They assist you in ceasing to resist Okay? That's when you grow, you know, you learn a little thing. Maybe you have a confrontation with your neighbor and you learn, hey, I didn't flip out. I didn't throw a punch at that guy. You know, so that I know how to control my anger a little bit. I had personality growth, and now I'm not going to resist this leading. I'm going to more see. That's what it's not so much that you have to be so proactive about. You just have to not resist. So that's what I mean when I say relax and flow. That doesn't mean you can just follow. People say I listen to my body when it comes to diet. Well, so did every other person that died from, heart disease or obesity or they all listen to their body too. We don't want to listen to our body. We want to listen to our adjuster. It will incorporate all of those things. Thought adjusters succeed or apparently fail in their terrestrial undertakings just in so far as mortals succeed or fail to cooperate with the scheme whereby they are to be advanced along the ascending path of perfection attainment. So it's really, we are the pilot, or the captain, I should say. The secret of survival is wrapped up in the supreme human desire to be godlike. There you go. And that answers every single question that you could possibly have about what should I do, how should I live my life. Be godlike. You might have to do anything. God is the eternal being. So, but by doing nothing, sometimes you do everything, and that's kind of a nuanced thing. You have to be at a certain level in order to be able to do that. I wouldn't advise that for somebody who's still searching or seeking. I would say no, actively pursue something. But we also must do something as well as be something. But that doesn't mean constantly every day you have to start a new orphanage and you have to, something. You just, like I said, relax and flow. God is an eternal entity. So that doesn't mean force, rush, get it now. And in the associated willingness to do and be any and all of these things which are essential to the final attainment of that overmastering desire. So that, if that is your soul's desire, it will happen. When we speak of an adjuster's success or failure, we are speaking in terms of human survival. Adjusters never fail. They are of the divine essence, and they always emerge triumphant in each of their undertakings. So they don't fail. However, they might not succeed. It's a difference there. There's beings who reject the plan, but that's not the adjuster's choice. That is your choice. I cannot but observe that so many of you spend so much time, this is an advanced angelic being writing this, and thought on mere trifles of living, while you almost wholly overlook the more essential realities of everlasting import, those very accomplishments which are concerned with the development of a more harmonious working agreement between you and your adjusters. Trifles of living, okay? Do the trifles. You don't have to be off in a monastery somewhere in order to advance spiritually, but keep them in priority. Kindergarten. This is kindergarten here, everybody. We're trying to look for eternity here, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be the best kindergartners in the school. The great goal of human existence is to attribute to the divinity of the indwelling adjuster. The great achievement of mortal life is the attainment of a true and understanding consecration to the eternal aims of the divine spirit who waits and works within your mind. People say, what's the purpose? What's the meaning of life? Attune to the divinity of the indwelling adjuster. It covers it all. It'll cover every single other possible thing that you could have as a hope and desire. And maybe it means that a lot of those hopes and desires are just going to melt away because they're not eternal. They're not important. Okay. Eternal aims, but a devoted and determined effort to realize eternal destiny is wholly compatible with a light-hearted and joyous life. and with a successful and honorable career on earth. You see how we have it all here, everybody? Doesn't need to be this, that I'm not going to speak for the rest of my life because I have to devote myself to spirituality. No, lighthearted. It's just, it seems so simple, but it's confused in our mind on purpose. That's what I say when we've been born into a planet with all of its evil machinations fully in place for thousands of years. It seems like it's one or the other. I can't be lighthearted and be spiritual. I have to be a priest and take a vow of celibacy, right? No. Here, look at this. Cooperation with the thought adjuster does not entail self-torture. Somebody told me pain is a gift. That's like saying evil is good. No, pain is not. Pain is nature's alarm. It's what you do with it that's a gift. That's called free will. Life is a gift. Having the thought adjuster is a gift. Free will is a gift. Pain is simply nature's alarm to say, you're down. You got to do it a different way, be it physical or mental. Mock piety. I think that just means like pretending like you're holy or sanctimonious. I don't know. Or hypocritical and ostentatious self-abasement. See? You can't be hard on yourself. The ideal life is one of loving service rather than an existence of fearful apprehension. Take all those words out of your mind. Stress. You don't need to have that. In service, remember, Jesus did good in passing. That was his service. You know, somebody needed a little help here and there. You don't have to go out of your way for this stuff. It's there all around you. Just having that attitude, just when you talk to somebody as a son and daughter of God, you're just naturally going to uplift them. You don't have to make a huge deal about it. You can if you want, though, you know. Confusion, being puzzled, even sometimes discouraged and distracted, does not necessarily signify resistance. So don't think that just because you're confused and everything, folks, you're on the right track. You're sitting here, you're 17 minutes into a Urantia book video, okay? You are on the right track. And distracted does not necessarily signify resistance to the leadings of the indwelling adjuster. Such attitude may be sometimes connote lack of active cooperation with the divine monitor. It's just you're human and may therefore somewhat delay spiritual progress. But such intellectual emotional difficulties do not in the least interfere with certain survival of the God-knowing soul. And just knowing that, you'll have less of these puzzling types of things. That's the source for a lot of it. Simply knowing that you don't need to be puzzled. Such emotional ignorance alone can never prevent survival. See that? I love that line because I don't care if somebody's an atheist or if they're out there even freaking worshiping Satan and they have these like play little churches like they think we're the Satan people. They have no idea what they're doing, first of all. They have no idea how much suffering Satan, you know, and Lucifer, Caligastia and them precipitated on this world. They're acting out of ignorance. If they truly knew, for them it's just like a fun little club that they're in and stuff. And who knows, they're probably doing ceremonies. Who knows, you know, I'm not saying that they're good people or anything like that. I don't know what kind of people they are. They could be good. They just probably ignorant. And they're going to survive. But then they're going to be embarrassed and red-faced when they get there on the other side. And they say, yeah, here, this is what Lucifer really did. You know, do you want to be a part of that or do you want to be a part of the spiritual reality? We are not going to have that embarrassed, red-faced type of experience when we're resurrected because we already understand what is true, beautiful, and good in the universe. But those beings are going to get resurrected based on the mercy of knowing that they're born into an evil world with all of its evil machinations in place. See? Ignorance alone can never prevent survival. Neither can confusional doubts nor fearful uncertainty. Only conscious resistance to the adjuster's leading can prevent the survival of the immortal soul. So you have to know that it's in there and you have to battle against it purposely. You must not regard cooperation with your adjuster as particularly conscious process, for it is not. But your motives and decisions, your faithful determinations, and your supreme desires do constitute real and effective cooperation. You can consciously augment adjuster harmony by, here's the keys right here. 1. Choosing to respond to divine leading. Sincere, basing the human life on the highest consciousness of truth, beauty, goodness, and then coordinating these qualities of divinity through wisdom, worship, faith, and love. So you can be a 100%er right here and right now. Doesn't mean that you're going to make every perfect choice and you're never going to have a human weakness moment, but you're no longer vacillating. You're saying, yeah, I am basing my whole life on this spiritual understanding. Loving God and desiring to be like him, genuine recognition of the divine fatherhood and loving worship of the heavenly parent. See, they use the word parent there, folks. So, you don't have to use the word father, first of all, if that's your block. I don't think it would be your block if you were really even at the level to understand this type of stuff. You'd be on getting caught up in human word symbols. But there you go. Number 2, loving God. All right? You're forming a relationship with your superior. And that's not a dirty word either. Loving man and sincerely desiring to serve him. Wholehearted recognition of the brotherhood of man. See, now you understand how everybody's on the same team here. We talked about politics earlier. Coupled with an intelligent and wise affection for each of your fellow mortals. Wise, meaning you can see their viewpoint and opinion. You can even find what they have in common with you. That might be one way. But you can just simply understand where they're coming from, what they might be afraid of. All right, what motivates them. And then you can love them even though they have very, simple, maybe a simple mind, an ignorant mind. And ignorant isn't a bad word either. That could just simply be a reality. I'm ignorant a lot about various fields, medical fields, whatever. Joyful acceptance of cosmic citizenship. Honest recognition of your progressive obligations to the supreme being. See, this is the revelation of the Urantia book. This understanding of God the Supreme, the evolving God of time and space, was not revealed to us. Maybe piecemeal in Jesus' life, but he wasn't here. That's a little overwhelming for people at the time. Awareness of the interdependence of evolutionary man and evolving deity. See, the evolutionary aspect of God, it evolves every single little choice that you make. It infinitesimally evolves God the Supreme. So you're participating in the evolution of deity here. This is the birth of cosmic morality and the drawing realization of universal duty. Cosmic morality, not just human mores, M-O-R-E-S, which is like, we do this, we do that, blah, blah, blah. We can't say these words, like shit, fuck is a swear. All right, those are just like sounds. I mean, if you were directing that as somebody, hate speech or something like that, that is cosmic morality, right? But a certain assemblage of word symbols, or what position your skeleton takes during the playing of the national anthem, right? Certain various notes. These notes are being played, so the skeleton needs to be in this position, or else you're not patriotic. That's human mores. Cosmic morality doesn't care what position your skeleton is during the playing of a national anthem. If you were to say, I'm doing this because I want to make someone angry, then they care about that because you're purposely trying to, send negative energy towards somebody. But if you're just doing it to protest or something, you see the difference there? Okay, anyways, super important paragraph / part. Remember, we only just read one page. I like to just do this. That's one page in this revelation. I'm telling you, folks, it's the real deal. So please like and subscribe. Thanks for checking out the video, and we will see you the next time.